wabarakatuh. A very good day. So today I'm going to present our research or study, namely student satisfactions on open and distant learning (ODL). So this is our team members. So we are from UITM Jangan Melaka campus Bandaraya. Okay, so before we start, this is the outline of my presentation. So I'm going to divide it into 4 different sections. So we start with introduction. We are going to look at several definition on ODL, and then the need to have ODL. And then we proceed with the literature review. So we are going to look at the several factors or independent and dependent variable related to this study. And then we proceed with the methodology or research design that going to having some sort of assistant or platform in designing of the research. And then we proceed with the finding and discussion. What would be the significant impact or factors that lead to this kind of student satisfaction of doing ODL? Okay, as we can see here, open learning encompasses a wide range of educational innovations that promote learner flexibility in terms of admission and departure, pace and location of the study. The most important part is the method of the study, course selection and combination, evaluations, and course completion. So there are several obstacles that currently face in ODL, including unfamiliar with the platform used respected to information and technology, access to the internet facility, lack of experience dealing with online learning platform, and then the issue of the student participation, and then interactivities and engagement. And then the internet problem has made the experience unpleasant, particularly when connectivity is poor and is very costly. So a lot of research actually has been identified that several ineffective teaching method demotivate students, okay, which catalyze the process of diminishing interest on the learning itself. So this is the independent variable of the study. So we have the first independent variable, namely technology support, and then we have a second IV, reference and learning material, and the third IV is teaching method. So there are several authors that has been cited in terms of their finding with respect to the significant impact on IV towards the DV. So we start with the technology support. So there is a positive relationship between the first IV, which is technology support, and student satisfaction on ODL. So this is because when technology support is effective, student satisfaction on ODL also increase. So whereby if the technology support is ineffective, the student satisfaction on ODL will decrease. And then it also depending on utilization of internet facilities as one of the technology support. And by having good information, communication and technology will completely support the demand for completely use of ODL to ensure as teaching and learning platform in this crisis situation. So and then if we refer to the second IV, reference and learning material, so there is an impact between learning material and ODL experience. This is due to a good material and reference is crucial that will provide a strong foundation of ODL, especially in a time of crisis. And the third IV, teaching method, the element of effective instruction material and its facilities such as Google Classroom, Google Meet, Zoom Meeting and Webex are considered a good option in replacing the traditional method of teaching. So with regard to these 3 IV and 1 dependent variable, so the objective of this study is to determine how technology support, the first IV, and then reference and learning material, the second IV, and last one teaching method, the third IV, affect the student satisfaction in ODL. Okay, so this is our framework for this research. So as we can see here, we have three different independent variables that also represent the three different hypotheses that going to affect to the dependent variable, which is student satisfaction in ODL. Okay, so like I did mention, the first hypothesis is there any relationship between technology support and student satisfaction, and then hypothesis number two, is there any relationship between reference and learning materials towards the student satisfaction, and the third hypothesis, is there any relationship between teaching method and student satisfaction in ODL. Okay, this study consists of 113 number of respondents, normally targeted among the students that experience ODL. So, since there is no exact number of population, and then it's quite difficult to obtain the exact numbers, number of students with regard to this institution. So might be we are going to opt for the non-probability sampling. Okay, so we already using the convenient sampling as the method of the sampling techniques, and then the data taken collected within 2 weeks, starting from 1st January until 15 January 2022. So the questionnaire distribute using Google form. Okay, Google form, and then the section based on the IV and DV, okay, using the 5 Likert scale. So all items that represent in IV and DV adapted from the previous study. Okay, now looking at the result and the discussion. So this is the finding that come from the demographic profile of the respondent. So female accounts for more over half of survey respondent, that consists of 88.5%, and then about 78% of respondents are at the age of 21 to 23 years old, and then 58.4% of respondents indicate they live at the city, okay, and the rest, which is 41.6%, live at the rural area. Okay, and then based on the internet connections, majority of respondents use Wi-Fi, which recorded 44.2%. Okay, based on the internet connection, instead of using Wi-Fi, the student also use mobile internet plan that consists of 32.7% of the respondents, and then the rest of respondents, which is 23%, use mobile hotspot and tethering that support the ODL. And then with regard to the electronic devices, majority of the respondent is use laptop, okay, which recorded about 60.2% for doing ODL. So before we proceed with hypothesis testing, so we need to ensure that our measurement or our questionnaire is reliable. So by having 4 different sections of independent variable and dependent variable, so that represent the 14 items, 14 items of each section. So based on this result of the Cronband alpha, the highest value come from the student satisfaction, which is 0.927, and then the lowest come from the support, which is 0.812. So overall, every single value of the Cronband alpha with regard to the 4 different variable is more than 0.6. So we can conclude that this set of measurement is reliable. This is the result of the hypothesis testing. So as we can see here, the dependent variable is student satisfaction of ODL. So based on the value represent under this section, only one variable, which is teaching method, okay, is less than 0.05, and then for the technology support and reference and learning material is more than 0.05. So we can conclude that only teaching method, okay, was the only variable support of student satisfaction. Then this the result support the only one hypothesis, which is H3, and then H1 and H2 that represent technology support and reference and learning material is not supported. So the value of R square is 0.436, or maybe we can conclude that only 43.6% of this independent variable explain the effect towards the dependent variable. As for discussion, if student can be equipped with an effective teaching method with various forms of interactive teaching platform, hence it will give another level of good experience in which will influence their satisfaction involved in ODL. And then the instructor also urged to utilize a variety of technology options in supporting their method of delivering. The use of technology is vitally essential for success in online learning. And then some instructors that employ online education must use new technology to enhance engagement with their students. Some interactive platforms, including multimedia and video, are also designated on online learning. For example, using online game can be useful in enhanced satisfaction of students in ODL. Moreover, continuous feedback, this is very important. It's a key component of all effective learning environment, including virtual learning environments. This continuous feedback will assist most of the students in creating an informative, engaging, and motivating online learning experience. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.